Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is Mortem. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD. And today, we're going to bring you the top 5 horror movies that you wish had a sequel.
That's right.
Movies that need a sequel.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why aren't there sequels to these movies?
Yeah, I had, when I was putting this together, I had an interesting time with this because, like, I did a little bit of research, and for a lot of the movies that I came up with, I found out that they had sequels that I didn't know about. And, like, the weird thing was, like, I looked at the movie The Gate.
Yeah.
And I had an idea for a sequel for it and wrote it all out. And then I was trying to remember who one of the actors was in it. And I went and looked it up. And then I saw that it had a sequel.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And I went and looked at it. And their idea for the sequel was the same thing that I had written down.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, you bring up a good point. Because in addition to saying movies that we wish had a sequel, we're going to give you a little bit of post-mortem creativity, because we're not just going to tell you the movie that we need to see a sequel for. We're going to give you a title for the sequel.
That's right.
And we're going to give you our plot of how we would make the sequel work.
Yep.
So this should be an interesting episode. It should be very entertaining, I hope, for the listener. And it was a lot of fun coming up with this list for me.
Yeah, it was.
So.
Actually, I don't have any honorable mentions for this one. I just have my 5 movies. I was a little under the weather this week, so I couldn't give full thought to it, but a lot of these sequels have been rattling around in my brain for a little while, so that was easy to put down.
Yeah, for sure. I have a couple, not many, but I figure we're going to be talking about these for quite a while, so we'll have plenty of content for you guys this week. But before we get to the top 5 movies you wish you had a sequel, we're going to have a little bit of horror news. Sorry, we have to edit that out.
Had a little Max Headroom skip on that one.
Oh, yes.
Horror news.
Horror news. I actually don't know who you're talking about or have any idea who that person is.
You don't know who Max Headroom is?
No.
Really?
Who's that?
It's... Okay, so you remember, like, in the 80s, there were all those Pepsi commercials where there was that digital head? I think it was not Peter Weller. It was the actor that looks like Peter Weller that's in all the other movies. He's a famous actor. Anyway, he had like the sunglasses.
Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich. No.
Udo Kier.
He was the dude that was in the remake of Dawn of the Dead. The guy that they shot in the mall. He's the guy that got bit and like had to like have the tearful goodbye to his daughter, and then they shot him.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It was that actor. I don't remember his name, but he had like plastic hair.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. He had plastic hair and sunglasses. And he
You're like, shut up, let me finish my fucking...
He had like the lines in the background, and he was like a digital character, but he wasn't digital, he was a human. And they would use him in like Pepsi commercials or something like that, and his voice would skip every once in a while, like it was a digital glitch. And he was a character in a movie called Max Headroom. And like, at some point in real life, some dude made himself look like Max Headroom and hacked a TV station. Like, hacked their signal and took it over. And to this day, nobody knows where it came from. But he just like gave this really brief kind of chaotic message where he pretended he was Max Headroom. You should look that shit up, man. Max Headroom, the movie, is actually really good. It's like,
did he cover a Reagan Youth song?
He should have. Yeah, look it up. The movie's actually really good, too.
All right, I will. I'll check it out. So this week for horror news, I started first last week. You want to give this a go?
Sure. So this one has piqued my interest. Cadabra Records is releasing an audiobook of H.P. Lovecraft's The Lurking Fear, read by Lovecraft historical founder Andrew Lehman and featuring a background score by dark ambient band Theologian. Theologian is an awesome band, and the samples that they've released via Cadaver Records SoundCloud station is really cool. It's a lot like the ambient stuff that I made for the Ars Moriendi album. It's very scrapey and clangy and dissonant.
Yeah. I really like that. You know, I'm not an industrial guy. I do like soundtracks and scores, though. I do like listen to old horror movie soundtracks and things like that. And I actually really appreciated your album. You know, the Mechanical Ghost album. It was cool. I could listen to it, and it's not like I have to listen to it and listen to a song.
Right.
But I just put it on in the background while I was doing stuff.
It's music for going to sleep, too. Actually, I'm working on a follow-up to it called Lullabies for the Dead. That's going to be even more like backgroundy stuff. And when I approached that album, I actually approached it like I was writing a film score as opposed to writing an album, or like scoring a classical piece of music as opposed to writing a pop song or something like that. And this is what Theologian did with their music. The stuff that's on there is very much just like eerie background sounds.
Yeah.
And then the guy reading over it is also a voice actor, so he has a very good voice for reading the story. And it sounds like it's going to be really cool. The only reason I'm mad is because I had an idea to do something similar a few years back, because most of Lovecraft stuff is public domain now.
Yeah.
And just never got around to it. And now if I ever like try and do it, it'll be like, oh, you're doing what these guys did.
Well, we are dipping our toes into many different things here at Postmortem. Yep. We're doing the podcast.
Yep.
Both of us are writing.
Yep.
You know, we're writing some stories. We're looking at doing our Postmortem compilation of horror stories.
Yep.
Featuring our friend Carrie Lip. Hopefully we can get some Agronoff on this
That
shit.
would be
Or
awesome.
a couple other people that have some...
Yeah.
That
By the way, if you're a horror writer, send us your story. We might publish you.
We will be publishing an actual short story compilation. It's a real thing. It's going to happen. In addition to that, we're spreading out.
Yeah.
We both have bands.
Branching
we're
out.
both involved in the wrestling business.
Yep.
Now we're doing the writing.
Yep.
And we're filming short films.
Yep.
And our first feature.
Yep. I actually just finished the script for our first short film.
Yep.
It's
It's
a
gonna be
send-up
fun.
of America's absurd obsession with
You
guns.
can't take my guns. My guns belong to me.
It's called From My Cold Dead Hands, An American Nightmare, and it's going to be
is.
starring JD Horror himself.
Yeah, it's going to be silly.
Yeah. Silly and violent and nightmarish and all at once. All the stuff we like.
We have our feature length that we're going to be starting a crowdfunding thing for. After we do this short, we get that release. You guys see that. You see how fucking ridiculous we are. And you
Maybe
like
do
it.
a couple more shorts. Just
Yeah,
to,
a couple more shorts. Then we have our feature film. We will reveal the name and the plot after we have some of these shorts going. But it's fucking ridiculous. It's funny. It's a total throwback to the 80s goofy horror movies.
Yeah, just madness.
It is madness, yes. And I'm sure anyone who enjoys this podcast will enjoy our little movies.
And I'm sure anyone who doesn't enjoy this podcast is a fucker. So fuck them.
Yeah. God damn it. You probably voted for Donald Trump.
Queefer.
Queefer Sutherland. Can't take my guns. Anyways, that was a tangent and a half.
That was total tangent. So yeah, Cadaver Records. H.P. Lovecraft's A Lurking Fear. Check it out. It's going to be cool.
All right. And I was going to say too, we should start doing the audiobooks for our short stories.
That would be cool.
We have the equipment. We have the means.
Yeah.
You do the music. You can score them. We'll read them.
Creativity costs
I can
nothing.
play multiple parts. I could play JD. Hi, I'm JD. I could play the redneck guy. They're gonna take our guns. I could play the concerned woman. Oh no! Please don't.
Yeah. You can play the guy
I'm a
taking
voice
shit.
actor. I'm a professional voice actor.
Actor.
An actor.
A thespian of the microphone.
Thespian of the microphone. Okay, so that's went on for way too long. Let's go back to horror news.
Yes.
I got my first piece of horror news. Eli Roth and executive... it's so hard for me to say this. Executive producer Ace Ventura himself, Jim Carrey. Executive producer Ace Ventura are making an adaptation of a comic book called Alistair Arcane.
Yeah, Alistair Arcane is a great comic book.
You've read it?
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
Okay. It was same author as 30 Days a Night.
Yeah.
They made a movie of, which was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Not great, pretty decent.
Alistair Arcane is nuts.
Yeah.
It's like it's over the top, silly.
Have you heard of this then?
Okay. What, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware they're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In addition to being an executive producer, Jim Carrey will star in the title role.
I think he will be perfect for that as long as he doesn't go into his spastic mode and keeps it dark, because Alistair Arcane was like batshit nuts.
So there's no chance of him crawling in and out of a rhino.
Maybe.
That scene in Ace Ventura 2?
It would probably be more like crawling in and out of a demon's asshole.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura 2,
it's a great scene. It's like the
giving birth out of its
to
asshole.
him. Yeah.
I love Ace Ventura. I loved Jim Carrey in the beginning. I love Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura 2 is tolerable in some parts. The spears in the legs.
I'm practicing my mantra.
Yeah, it's good, and the fucking raccoon and everything.
Yeah, it was just when he toned it down and started doing the family movies.
Yeah, after the Cable Guy. The Cable Guy was great. After that, he sucks.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Jim Carrey.
Did you see him in 23 where he was more serious? Or the number 23?
Number 20, was it 23 or 21? 23, yeah. Yeah, he did. I didn't like it. He was a dog catcher and shit. It was okay. I mean, it was passable. I'd probably give it a 5.5 if I was going to rate it.
I enjoyed it. I'd think it was a 7, but I also like that noir kind of style.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so back to the Alistair Arcane. It centers around a group of children who befriend a bitter old man that was ruined and shunned by their parents. After his death, only the kids of the town have the power to thwart the curse that he did on their town. He
used to be, at least in the comic book, I don't know how they're going to do it for the movie, he was like a midnight movie show host.
Yeah.
And but he was actually an occultist.
Oh, cool.
And into all that stuff. And the parents found out about that and blamed him for a bunch of shit. And he had to become the creepy old man who lived at the end of the street in the old house. And then everything goes crazy from there.
I'm hoping for the opposite of what you said, that it's dark, it has to be serious. I'm hoping that it's kind of goofy.
No, it doesn't have to be serious. It has to be dark. It has to be dark and crazy.
Yeah.
Not just goofy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a combination of Ernest Scared Stupid and Gremlins with cult content and stuff like that.
It would be like that, but with more violence, like an adult version of that.
That'd be cool.
That's what it should be.
If Ernest was in an NC-17 brutal horror movie, that would be my favorite movie ever.
That would be the best thing ever.
I would give that a higher rating than Reanimator.
That would be like an 11.
Yeah. It turns up to 11. This movie turns up to 11.
We need to learn necromancy, resurrect Jim Varney, and make this movie.
That's a future plot of a post-mortem short. Us trying to dig up the corpse of Jim Varney.
So we can resurrect him and make the movie.
Here lies Ernest. Fuck you, Vern.
I'm dead, know what I mean, Vern?
I'll be Vern. I'll play the part of Vern.
Because we'll finally actually see Vern.
Yeah. I'll play the part of Vern trying to dig up my friend Ernest.
Right.
And then we'll have Bobby, the guy that looks like a bird with his fat brother. Tries to sell him trolling and stuff, and was a security guard at the bank. Anyways, we're going on way different directions here, like we like to do here at the Postmortem Show. So, like I said, he hasn't done shit since Cable Guy that I've appreciated. Yeah. I'm hoping that he does good.
Yeah, so. This will be entertaining.
And a lot of people don't shit on him, but I like Eli Roth. I like his stuff.
Yeah.
I like Hostel. I like Green Inferno. I like Knock Knock. I like a bunch of his stuff. So, okay. The second piece of horror news in 12 minutes.
Wow. Tangent Central. Christoph Gans, the guy who directed Silent Hill and Brotherhood of the Wolf, is taking on a film adaptation of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He's changing the setting to China and he's begun shooting in Shanghai. And basically, this movie is like the quintessential, original fucking sea monster story. And Gans has a very unique eye for monsters based on his previous work, and seems to like the whole keep it practical, enhance it digitally, but don't go overboard with it. He likes to use a lot of those funky actors that have the weird body types and contortionists,
like we were just talking about last
episode.
Yeah. Doug Jones.
Yeah.
What's the name of that other guy?
Javier Botet.
Yeah.
So 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is a great story. Classic movie from back in the day. And Christoph Gans is a great director. So I think putting those two together and if he can create something epic that's mostly practical effects, I think that'll push it over. And that'll be the fucking straw that broke the camel's back on all CG movies. And we'll start getting some good real effects again.
Yeah, I'm so tired of it. This isn't the anti-CG podcast. It is a post-mortem podcast.
Yeah, it's the don't fuck CG to death podcast.
Yeah, you have to voice your opinions.
Yeah.
In this here radio world, this here internet radio world.
It's what it's for.
I got a microphone. This microphone is a pipe bomb. A pipe bomb against CG.
JD Punk.
I like that. All right, my second piece of news. Michael Sheen, no relation.
Oh, yeah, I know who Michael Sheen is, yeah.
Is set to star and direct a new movie based on the Green River Killer.
Really?
The Green River Killer was one of the most infamous serial killers in American history.
Yeah.
Real name Gary Ridgway. Convicted of 49 murders and claimed to have committed much, much more. It's supposed to tell his story as well as that as Tom Jensen, the detective that never gave up on the 20-year manhunt for him.
Nice.
So from the beginning, he always was hunting him. 20 years it took him.
Who is
until he
Michael
got
Sheen
him.
playing? Is he the killer or the detective?
He's the killer.
Okay. Michael Sheen has a lot of depth as an actor. He's British, I think, but he obviously would be playing an American character.
Well, he's going to be starring and directing and writing the adaptation for this movie.
Nice.
It's a passion project.
Nice.
He's super into it.
I dig that guy too, so he'll be
And it's based on the book by Tom Jensen's son, Jeff Jensen.
Okay.
So the actual investigator
family involved, yeah.
His son wrote a book about this whole thing, about his dad and about his dad's hunt for the Green River Killer. And Michael Sheen has collaborated with him to make this fucking movie.
Nice.
Which he will star and direct and write. It's already been written as a book by Jeff Jensen, the son.
Well, he'll be
but he's doing the adaptation and everything. The script has won the Blacklist Award last year. Do you know what that is?
Already the script just won the award.
The script won the Blacklist Award, which is... The Blacklist Award is something that's given out every year to a script that's floated around Hollywood that has been unproduced, but is the best script out there.
Oh,
that hasn't been made.
Basically it's saying, make this fucking movie.
Yeah, so basically this script it's been around for a couple of years. It won the Blacklist Award because people said this is a great movie. I think that there is a certain hatred on serial killer movies in Hollywood right now. You got to think about like terrorism and shit like that. You got terrorism going on,
yeah,
and real life stories of serial killers and stuff like that. They don't want to get involved with it.
Yeah,
there hasn't not been a good fucking serial killer movie in so long.
Yeah, not in a while.
Most of them have been low budget bullshit,
or they're not about the serial killer at all. They're about like the things surrounding the serial killer.
Yeah. I like the Dahmer movie. I like the Ed Gein movie, not the one with the poster where he's wearing the face, but it was like Light of the Moon. Ed Gein.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only showed one killing.
Yeah.
But the guy who played him was that guy sympathetic villain.
Very, very convincing, yeah.
Yeah.
I hated Summer of Sam.
It was okay.
I think it offended me because it was mostly Puerto Ricans playing stereotypical Italians.
Yeah.
And then there was like that ridiculous scene with the talking dog. I want you to kill. I want you to kill.
Biff tells me to kill.
Yeah?
Yeah. He does.
It makes sense.
He's like, this is the way Biff would talk to me. Hi, it's Biff. You should go kill that. That's my retarded dog, Biff.
I'm gonna sniff your dick.
Yeah, I'm gonna sniff your dick. I'm gonna pee in the house. You've had me for a couple years now, but I still think I'll just pee in the hallway. Fucking Biff. Run to the litter.
Yeah. The mental run to the litter.
So I'm an animal rights activist. I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I love animals. I beat the shit out of my own dog. I beat him. I flog him with whips. Because he deserves it. He's a piece of shit. A cat of nine tails to the Biff.
You strap him down and put a cloth over his face and waterboard him.
No, I don't do any of those things. But my dog is a piece of shit. I love him to death, but he's a piece of shit.
He's pretty retarded.
He is. He has mental problems. And he's blind in one eye.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He's definitely defective.
He acts like an old dog that needs to be put down, but he's only like a couple years old. Can't blame it on him. So
the redheaded stepchild of the JD horror family.
He is, for sure. So. All right, what's your last bit of news?
On September 6th, CBS Home Entertainment and Paramount Home Media are releasing Friday the 13th, the series, and Tales from the Dark Side, the series, on home video.
Awesome.
I recently went back and rewatched Friday the 13th, the series, and it was okay. Some of it was good, some of it didn't hold up. Unlike Freddy's Nightmares, which didn't hold up at all.
I like Freddy's Nightmares still. I like Friday the 13th, the series. Have you seen... See, I have the vinyl album right there? The soundtrack?
Thing. Yeah, it's
awesome. Danny Foster gave me that because me and Sledge and we appeared with what's his name?
Gunnar Hansen and
no, not Gunnar. It wasn't Gunnar Hansen. It was the guy who played Leatherface in the 2003 remake and the guy who played Leatherface in the 3D. Big Schwag. What's his name? Brett Wagner. It was the 2003 remake. He played Leatherface, and then the guy Dan Yeager who played Leatherface in the 3D, the most recent one.
Oh, yeah, that ice cream and cigar thing where they showed the movies.
Whatever. My friend did this thing, ice cream and cigars with Leatherface.
I was invited to that, and I was super sick, and I couldn't go.
Yeah, it was weird. Me and Sledge did an appearance there as, like, wrestlers, and so it was, like, me and Sledge and 2 Leatherfaces.
Yeah. And Jimmy Ray.
And Jimmy Ray, well, Jimmy was just there.
Yeah.
He's just being Jimmy Ray.
Right.
And it was cool.
Yeah.
To go back to your story, I'm sorry for the tangent there, but we talked about Friday the 13th.
Right.
I had the album.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Tales from the Dark Side. I haven't seen that show since it was on TV, but I fucking loved it as a kid. It was really, really inspirational into, like, my creative process now.
Yeah.
And it had stories from Stephen King, Harlan Ellison, Clive Barker, like a lot of horror veterans wrote for that. So I'm certain that one's going to hold up.
Yeah,
I remember the effects were good, and the stories were dark, and it was for TV, like normal TV.
Yeah.
But it was still like gory and violent and
it's really
scary.
slow though.
Yeah.
For today's kids, like as a kid, when I would play hooky from school, stay home from school.
Yeah.
I'm so sick, Mom, I can't go to school.
Right.
Well, obviously I'm fine. I'm just tired. I don't want to get out.
Putting the thermometer on the light bulb like Elliot and E.T.
Well, my mom just didn't check it, so it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah. You just wanted to put the thermometer in your butt, right?
Yeah, I just put it in my butt anyway, just for recreation.
Right.
Not for temperature. Recreational butt thermometer. That's a good band name. Grindcore band name. Recreational butt thermometer.
That's our rating system. Recreational butt thermometers.
I was going to say Skeet Ulrich's, but recreational butt thermometers is way better. So yeah, I would watch Tales from the Dark Side, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. Same with the old school Twilight Zone. Still, the pig people, all that stuff. It still holds up. But I don't think that the kids of today would understand it. I don't think my son would watch Tales from the Dark Side and appreciate it.
No, I think they'll definitely be for people like us. Going back and watching it, and
for sure.
Yeah, I love those anthology series. I actually have all of Amazing Stories on DVD, and this will be one where I'll go and buy the set, because that'll be one that like I'll want to have and like watch when I'm 70, if I make it that far.
All right. So, anything else to say about that?
That's it.
Is that your last one?
Yep. September 6th.
My last one, it's for you.
Okay.
So, you're going to be excited about it. It's a new horror comedy that's been in production hell for years. It was filmed years ago.
Okay.
It's called Stomping Ground.
Okay.
It's about to be released. It's Bigfoot comedy horror.
Oh.
2 of your favorite things coming together like butt cheeks.
Slap. Yeah, I just read a Deadite Press book called Bigfoot Crank Stomp.
Yeah.
About a meth-addicted Bigfoot going on a rampage. And it was fucking great. It was really well written. It was very cinematic.
I need to borrow that from you,
Yeah.
So we're going to do a lot of exchanges here, but Stomping Ground.
Okay.
You going to check it out?
I fucking am going to check it out.
Bigfoot horror comedy.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Nice. All about the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. I'm all about the Bigfoot. God damn it, I can't believe I just did that.
That song's going on my next album.
All about that Bigfoot.
The album's called Getting High with Bigfoot, so, I may as well.
And there might be an appearance by Medium Foot. Spoiler alert.
Medium Foot, that's right.
All right, well, this has gone on for way too long. It's already 22 minutes deep in the podcast, and we have not done the good movie or the bad movie. We have not given you our top 5 sequels, so this might be the longest podcast on record. So we apologize, or not, because if you're enjoying it,
if you like Postmortem, then you have to like Tangents. It's like if you like going to jail, you have to like getting fucked in the butt by larger men.
If you build it, we will come.
That's right. All over it.
And we'll be back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem Podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money. We get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many, and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
And we're back with the good movie and the bad movie.
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
I have a pretty good movie. How good is your good movie?
I have a really fucking good movie.
Want me to go first then?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
My bad movies might be a little controversial. So.
All right.
Not between you and me, but with the listeners.
Controversy creates cash.
That's right. By clicking on the Amazon banner.
Yeah. So, all right. My bad movie. 2007. Directed by Scott L. Flynn in the only movie he ever directed. Didn't make one before 2007. Didn't make one after 2007 because he probably shouldn't.
Okay.
It's a dramatized story about Albert Fish.
Huh.
And the people who sought to catch him.
Okay.
I was really excited when I saw this pop up on Amazon Prime. I wanted to check it out. It's a period piece and opens up with Fish being beaten as a child by nuns in an orphanage and flogged.
Okay.
A little bit of background story there, you know?
Right.
He takes in a young man, gives him a place to stay, and starts exhibiting strange traits. As you know he did.
As Albert Fish was kind of a fucking weirdo, yeah.
Yes. Like I said in the news, I want a good serial killer movie. This is not a good serial killer movie.
Okay.
Ugh. Half of the story follows him. The other half follows a detective who is trying to find him. The movie is dreary and boring as fuck. They're attempting to go for the noir thing, but failing miserably. The acting is flat. I did not care about any of the characters. My main problem with this movie, other than the casting of Albert Fish, is the detective.
Okay.
Horrible. It's like Dick Tracy. You know that movie Dick Tracy?
Yeah.
You know it's way over the top like that? That's the way he's playing it. In the fucking Albert Fish movie. So.
Who was Albert Fish? Was it anyone?
I didn't take notes.
It wasn't like
he did okay.
Like Steve Buscemi as Albert. That would actually be good. Shit,
it would be good. So Albert Fish is supposed to be sickly. The voice is just not what I imagined. For my money, in Sin He Found Salvation, the Albert Fish documentary with dramatized portions by filmmaker John Borowski,
that's good.
Is much better.
Okay,
that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's how I picture him with that voice. That's,
kind of wormy.
Yeah, wormy little
Steve Buscemi
voice.
should
He's
play
a
him.
sickly old man. Yeah, he's a sickly old man. That's the way he should
in
be.
His dick and
this guy is not like that. He doesn't have that sickliness to him.
Okay.
You know, so that's the problem for me. Voiceovers they did for Fish in the movie by John Borowski were way better. They had the totally creepy old man vibe that's missing from this. It was difficult to get through the whole hour and a half of this movie. I fell asleep a couple times.
Okay.
And this was the afternoon.
Right.
It was not 2 a.m.
You weren't 12-pack deep and
No, I was completely sober. I was actually mid workday watching it before I went to my next appointment.
Okay.
And I was falling asleep. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
I almost shut it off until he met the Bud family. You know, the Grace Bud thing with Albert Fish. The whole scenario is the creepiest part about the movie, just like it's the creepiest part about Albert Fish.
Yeah.
The letter he wrote, all that stuff. It kind of almost turned me around right there.
Okay.
And the saving grace is saving grace, no pun intended, is the girl who played Grace Bud.
Okay.
The girl who played Grace Bud did a good job.
Nice. Well,
it's completely sympathetic. It
yeah.
made me feel so bad. Right when I saw her and he was talking to her and stuff, she was such a good actress, and it felt like she was actually there.
That's
that
good.
It made me feel bad about it.
Yeah, because that whole part is like the most crucial part of Albert Fish's life, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when a little girl is the best actor in the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the guy who played Albert Fish, at the beginning, I was like, nope, checked out instantly. When I saw him, when I heard his voice, checked out. About halfway through, he almost wrote me back in. 3/4, and I don't know. It's still my bad movie.
Right.
IMDb gives it a generous 6 out of 10. I'm going to have to give it a 4.9.
Okay.
4.9 out of 10. Not Skeet Ulrich's. What do we say?
Recreational rectal thermometers.
Recreational rectal thermometers. And Albert Fish is all about that.
Yeah, he is.
Pins in the anus.
Sitting on pins and needles.
Willingly. So yeah, that's my bad movie. The Gray Man, 2007. If you're looking for an Albert Fish movie, if you're into that kind of thing, you like serial killer things, I recommend John Borowski documentaries. Look for Sin He Found Salvation. Look for his Carl Panzram.
Oh God, that's a good one.
It's a great one.
Yeah. I want a good movie about Carl Panzram, and I want Tom Hardy to play Carl Panzram.
That would be great, yeah.
He would fucking own that.
He also
part.
has a great H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, that documentary is really... That was on Netflix also. The Carl Panzram and the H.H. Holmes.
In addition, he has Serial Killer Culture, which is a documentary. It's on Amazon Prime right now for free.
About like the
it's about
Museum of Death and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's about the impact of serial killers on American culture, about artists, about bands, and the band who does my theme music, who gave me permission and customized and all that shit from the JD Horror theme music for wrestling. Macabre is in that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they are. That's right.
I love Macabre.
Yeah.
They're my boys. They sent me some stickers. They sent me shirts. They sent me all this shit. They sponsored me. They sponsor JD Horror, which means they sponsor Post.
And your entrance music is actually the Mechanical Ghost remix of Macabre.
It is. That's true. Yeah. You produced it.
That's right.
That's true. So. Yeah, it's a bad movie. It's a good concept. I want a good serial killer movie.
Hopefully that H.H. Holmes one with Leonardo DiCaprio will be
great. Yeah, oh yeah. That and the Green River one, so we'll see.
I got some faith in those. So my bad movie might be a little bit controversial, like I said. It's new, and I've heard a lot of people on the internet saying very, very good things about it, and I disagree with what they're saying about it. Because it's some basic-ass bullshit.
Okay.
2016, directed by James Wan, The Conjuring 2.
It's bad, huh? I haven't seen it.
Fucking bad. Synopsis, very simple. Ed and Lorraine Warren are back investigating a haunting in England that has a single mother and her 4 children terrorized. Boom. That's it. James Wan, this is what pisses me off. James Wan is an excellent fucking director. He knows how to set a scene, he knows how to create a mood, he knows how to build tension, he knows how to use light and shadow, he knows how to create visually iconic characters, and he's really, really good at blending practical and digital effects so they look believable. My problem with his movies is that many of them are gilded turds. For all his talent as a director, he works with fucking insipid scripts and played out stories.
Sure. And you got good actors, too.
Great actors.
Yeah.
Great actors. And that's the thing, like, first of all, fuck Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were nothing but a pair of self-aggrandizing charlatans who use people's fear and superstition to build their own fame and fortune. Their cases have been repeatedly debunked, and their insistence on using religion and psychic phenomena as investigation tools over the scientific method set back paranormal investigation as a science by decades.
And
fuck them.
You know what they remind me of is that old man in the 300 Club. You know, in the morning when you're getting ready for school as a little kid, and you see the infomercials,
and that's the thing. Like,
that's what they remind me of. They give me that vibe, and
even
I can't
more
trust
so,
that godly, holier than thou vibe.
Yeah, fuck the idealized versions of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are one-dimensional, super scene of good guys who have no pathos, always figure out everything easily, or just know what's going on all the time, and are so uninteresting in their perfection that they play like Saturday morning cartoon characters on a fucking Christian network.
It's true. You know what, though? Patrick Wilson is a great actor.
Yeah. And
in Hard Candy, he killed it. Yeah. He's killed it in so many different roles. I love him. Little Children, you ever see that movie? Little Children?
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, what I'm saying about them is not a slight on the actors.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson is good. Vera Farmiga is good. They do the best they can with shitty roles, and they have a very good chemistry together. My problem with them is based entirely on the fucking shitty writing and the idealized versions of shitty people that they're playing.
Yeah.
You know, I can't shit on any of the acting in this. Even like the background characters and all the other supporting characters, everyone was good. The people playing the ghosts were creepy.
How's the effects?
The effects were good.
CG City though, right?
Not really. No, it was practical effects enhanced with digital. The way James Wan tends to do it. Yeah. Except, like, you know, in Dead Silence, like, it started out that way and then he went crazy overboard with it. He didn't really do that this time. Even the digital stuff still
I didn't mind the Conjuring one that much. I didn't think it was horrible. It wasn't great.
It was a movie, as far as I was concerned.
It was a solid 5/5.
Yeah,
Conjuring one.
This movie upped the ante on Ed and Lorraine Warren being the super godly good guys, and basically, like, it fails as anything more than, like, a walkthrough in a spook house. It's certainly not an actual ghost story.
Just jump scares, that's it.
And the spirits in the movie only exist to be creepy. They're just there to be like, oh, boogie, boogie, boogie. You know, like, in a ghost story, the ghosts are supposed to be giving you hints about things.
Is there a good plot?
Yeah. No, there's nothing. It's really just like,
just jump scares.
Here's some stuff. Here's some jump scares.
We made some money. We're going to make some money in part 2.
There was, like, one riddle shoehorned into the movie, like, in the third act.
What about the guy? Okay, so people are talking about. I haven't seen the movie yet, but people are talking about
the crooked man.
That guy.
Yeah, that Javier Botet.
Yeah,
he looked super fucking cool, but he was just there to be creepy. It was just like, here's another creepy thing. Like, there was no point to it. There was no symbolism.
They're talking about making his own movie now.
I don't know why, because they basically he was an image that was pulled out of the consciousness of one of the kids just to scare them. They'd have to completely follow that family all over again.
Or just he's really a demon or something.
Yeah, something like that. But
they're talking about that.
The problem also is that in a horror story about a family being tormented by spirits, the horror should come from the family being torn apart and terrorized, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. But this movie...
And turning on each other and needing to band together to fight the evil.
Exactly.
That's a classic story.
Yeah. And in this movie, the family was just a prop to
show you jump scares.
To show you jump scares and to show you how good, awesome, and faithful the Warrens were.
I'm still going to watch it because it's, I hate to say it, but I have to watch. You'll see next episode what my bad movie is, and you'll be like, why did you watch that?
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't have never watched that.
There's sometimes there's movies that may or may not be important.
Yeah.
And I keep watching James Wan movies because I'm hoping he works with a better script. Yeah. And I was hoping
Saw 1 was great.
Yeah.
Saw 1 was great.
Yeah.
So.
But with this one, there's ghosts, there's a family, there's some shit happening, but ultimately it's not even about the family being terrorized. It's all about the Warrens. And in the end, the resolution is literally, Ed and Lorraine knew the answer all along because they're a pair of fucking superheroes. It's a fucking load of wank. So, the bottom line on it, it was a pretty atmospheric movie, but ultimately pointless and lifeless. James Wan is a great director who routinely works with shitty scripts, and this needs to stop.
Yeah.
Fuck Ed and Lorraine Warren. Fuck their schmaltzy bullshit religious propaganda stories. This movie should not be called The Conjuring. It should be called The Con Artists.
The Con Artists 2.
Yeah, and I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 10, solely for James Wan's directing.
2.5 out of 10 what?
Recreational butt plugs. Recreational butt thermometers.
That's so different.
Recreational
butt plugs and butt thermometers?
Yeah.
Butt plugs, you go into the store, you buy that knowing you're going to shove that up your ass for pleasure.
Yeah.
The butt thermometers, you find in your parents' medicine cabinet.
And then you shove it up
your ass. And you shove it up your ass for pleasure anyway.
And you get the shock and surprise of it being pleasant.
Recreational butt thermometers.
Skeet Ulrich,
the new
recreational
album.
Butt thermometer.
Featuring bassist and singer Skeet Ulrich.
Recreational
Skeet. Butt thermometers. Okay. That's some bad movies.
Fuck The Conjuring 2.
I'm still going to see it. Because Conjuring 1 was
God damn it, torrent it. Torrent that fucking movie.
Steal it. Steal this movie.
You hear that, FBI?
It was Dom, it wasn't me. I'll give you his address. Just message me, email me, call me. It wasn't me.
Steal it. I paid to see that movie in the fucking theater. And you know what? The popcorn was good.
The popcorn was the best part.
Yep,
I paid $7.50 for it.
Yep. I did see it on a matinee though. I wasn't going to pay the full price, and I used my student discount card.
My good movie, which I hope you haven't seen, so I can recommend it to you, so you'll actually watch it. Because I saw this fucker pop up on my Netflix so many times, and based on the art, I thought it would be the worst movie ever. I would never watch it. So 2012, written and directed by Conor McMahon. It's an Irish horror comedy. It's called Stitches.
The Clown?
The Clown.
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
I loved it.
Good movie.
So
I saw it because I had avoided it too, but another friend of mine recommended it to me.
I saw the picture. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be like fucking rip off, or it's just gonna be a cash grab. It's gonna be these terrible movies they have on Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Stop.
Yeah, Netflix. I'm talking to you. Stop putting out all these shitty movies. Don't pay for them. They suck. Ouija Experiment Part 7. You're gonna put that out. There's been 2 Ouija experiments. By Part 7, I bet you're going to still put it out. You don't care what I say.
Have some fucking standards, you slut.
I'm going to take my $7.99. Yeah, I'm grandfathered in. I got the $7.99 package, not $11.99. So fuck you. I'm going to take it. I'm going to spend it elsewhere. But there's nowhere else to go, so I'll continue to pay the bill.
They got you by the balls.
They do. Screenbox, Shudder, you guys. Shudder, I did message you, and I said, hey, you want to sponsor the Postmortem podcast? We'll promote you.
Yep.
Just give us 2 free memberships.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask for money.
Yeah.
No response.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Shudder.
You know what? Shudder needs to step up their fucking game anyway, because I subscribe to that, and their interface sucks. They have.
I did
movies,
too. I
but you
subscribed
can't watch
to it.
any of them.
I subscribed to it, and I was like, it sucks. I canceled it on the free trial.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I'll message them and we'll promote it if they give us free memberships. Maybe we can see some movies. Maybe they get their shit together.
Yeah, maybe they'll make their interface
help them
work.
get new members so they can afford to get better movies and shit. No response.
Shudder reminded me of like when you would go to the video store and they would have the empty boxes on the shelf, and there was the one placeholder box where they didn't have any there. It was just like, this is where X movie goes. That's how Shudder feels like. You go there and you see this list of all these awesome movies they have, and you go to click on it to watch it, and it's just a fucking blank screen. It just wouldn't load. Wouldn't load, yeah.
I didn't have that problem. I just had the problem of, if you're going to have 300 movies, they better all be amazing. And they're not.
75% of the movies that I tried to watch on there were good. I think I only watched 3 movies in the 3 weeks that I had it.
That sucks. So anyways, back to Stitches. Irish horror comedy. A clown comes back from the dead to haunt those who took his life during a fatal party mishap. The party scene is awesome. Before anything happens, it's awesome.
It's like a Rube Goldberg machine of death.
It is. It opens up with Stitches banging some girl who yells over and over, "Fuck me, clown! Fuck me, clown!" in like a trailer park.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Stitches is an inappropriate clown, and a pretty bad one at that.
Yeah.
Does a party for some little brats. They flip him off. They tie his shoes together. He trips and falls face first on a bunch of knives that are in the dishwasher. So the dishwasher is open.
Yep.
The knives are blade up.
Which you're not supposed
to
do.
Yeah, well, who would do that? Why would you leave it open?
Bitch.
He falls face first in it. Pretty terrible. He gets up with the knife sticking out into his face, and all the kids run away except the little asshole who tied his shoes. He pulls the knife out, and the blood sprays on the kid for like a good 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Torrents of blood onto the kid's face. It's funny because it's all coming from one area on his face.
Yeah.
Like one tiny little area.
Yeah,
like
but it's just like a fire hose of blood.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So you can totally see the bald cap, but he's a clown, so you would. So then, Stitches is brought back from the dead when a group of clowns use black magic ritual to resurrect him. A bunch of clowns around his grave chanting. It's awesome, dude.
I saw it like
it's
a year
great.
ago. Yeah.
So the kid who did the tying the shoes witnesses this and runs away. And then smash cut to 6 years later. The movie has a good vibe and an awesome sense of humor.
Yeah.
Some of the directions and things I had not seen before.
Yeah,
This movie. The cinematography is good. Everything is great.
They took it seriously, but they didn't take it seriously.
Like, even like, okay, this is a very simple thing. It's not important to the plot. It's just a little thing they threw in there. A teenager is popping a zit. Right as he's about to pop it, when it pops, it cuts to an egg getting cracked in a pan.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a splash of the egg, like it was a zit.
Yep.
You know, they didn't have to. It had nothing to do with anything. It's just there
to be gross.
It's good filmmaking.
Yeah,
it's good filmmaking. So, yeah. So kids from the party are still friends in high school. The main character, Tom, begins to see visions of clowns in his day-to-day life. The shape of his breakfast is a clown. His teacher morphs into a clown and rips his friend's dick off and ties it to a balloon and lets it float away as he dances. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This movie's so fucking funny. And even Stitches, he's got the one-liner. He's like Freddy.
Yeah.
He's got those little one-liners he throws in. He's a great horror villain.
Yeah.
It totally exceeded my expectations. I never wanted to watch it because of the cover art.
Yeah.
Cover art has that same like graphic design to where it's Stitches, it's the guy, but it's got that grainy thing, and it looks like it would be like a Ouija experiment.
Movie, yeah.
Like it looks like that. It looks like it's gonna suck. You guys, filmmakers, production companies, don't copy the Sci-Fi Channel art.
Yeah.
I would have watched this years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
But I didn't because of that. So,
like, if the poster was just like a balloon with like the silhouette of a dick tied to it, that would have been a great poster art for that.
Yeah, and or him being silly, like whatever.
Yeah.
Just the way they did the art makes him look like he's a menacing character.
Yeah,
and he's actually really funny.
Yeah,
he's like Pennywise with a way better sense of humor.
He's like, what was that movie with the fucking like Killjoy? Before the Killjoy movies got really, really, really bad. Like,
I never liked any of them.
Killjoy, I think.
But Santino Brothers, Chaos and them were in one.
Yeah, Killjoy in Hell,
that's pretty cool for them. So, this movie has some cheesy plot holes. Most of the effects are awesome.
Yeah.
There's some cheesiness, but some of the effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, good gore.
The direction and cinematography, as well as the humor, more than made up for the lack of budget or effects.
Yeah.
because the effects they did have were pretty good. There was a guy who got his head blown up by a fucking air pump.
Yeah, that's right.
That shit was so awesome.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the 80s effects. Like,
you know what would have made that movie better is if they didn't shoot it digitally, or they made it look grainy like it was shot on the film, like it was actually made in the early 80s.
Yeah. You got to think about a practicality. Like, that's good to us. We like that. Yeah. But when you talk to Mr. Whitey, who has the money, that's going to, like, put you up, he wants that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That's slick production, yeah.
You need to have a name before you start getting into creativity, or start that way.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like the guys who did Dude Bro Party Massacre.
Yep.
If the guy
like the guys who did Half Pipe Horror.
That's right. Rad Vampire.
Spoiler alert. Phantom of the Skate Park versus the Rad Vampire. Tune in for more about that on a later podcast. But it's a standard killer revenge plot in Stitches.
Yeah.
But it's done in a good and funny way.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It had me into it to where I was laughing. There was laugh out loud moments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you know how I am. I love horror comedy.
Yeah. They were serious about their filmmaking, but they were serious about their story, but they weren't serious about how they presented the story.
Yeah.
And they never tried to take themselves too seriously.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where some of those movies get killed. Is like they hit a point where they're like, okay, now we're gonna make a serious horror movie. No, if you got a fucking clown that's brought back from the dead by a cult of
that's
clowns.
kind of what happened to me to Behind the Mask.
Yeah,
the Leslie Vernon. I loved it. The documentary style at the beginning, and then it turns into a horror movie. I'd still like that too, but it's a little too serious at that point. So, IMDb gives Stitches 5.7, which is pretty strong for a horror comedy with a low budget. Yeah. But I would say more like 8.7 recreational butt plugs. Butt thermometers. Yes. I liked it. Yeah. I think anyone, if you like my good movies and my sense of humor, you would like it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Dom likes it too. So
yeah, I'd say 8.7 is fair. Yeah, it's maybe an 8 if I was going to critique the special effects to digital filming ratio, but that's just like a technical gripe.
Yeah.
I think that the horror definitely makes up for it.
The enjoyment though.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't like
I was never bored during
the filmmaking version or the budget or the ratio of CGI to practical. The enjoyment factor, it's an 8.7.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, that was one of those movies that I watched from beginning to end and didn't get up and like putter around at the
Me too.
Of. Yeah,
and I thought it was going to be my bad movie. Yeah. I was watching it. I was like, oh fuck, here we go, clown horror. This is going to be my bad movie of the week. And I wasn't doing it like we said. We agreed we're going to watch it and give it a chance. It was higher reviewed on Netflix. So I thought that maybe it might be good, and it said horror comedy.
Yeah,
and a lot of times I like the European.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I've got this DVD. I was going through my DVDs recently, actually to make my top 100 list to like look for reminders. Yeah. And I've got this movie that someone gave to me, and it's called Sick, S-I-C-K, and it stands for Serial Insane Killer Clown with a K. Or
I've seen that.
Serial Insane Clown.
That
Killer.
movie sucks.
It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing is like it's a clown in the woods, and it's literally like a dude wearing the clown mask from Slipknot.
Yeah. Going
around, and it's 3D. If you get it on DVD.
I have a hole in my lip.
Oh, shit. You trying to shotgun that beer?
No, I just poured it all over myself.
Gotcha. It's a party.
Missed my mouth.
Yeah. And apparently, on the East Coast, here in the United States, there's a myth about a clown that haunts some woods and kills people. And that's where all these Clown in the Woods movies comes from. Because it seems so fucking non sequitur. Like, okay, there's a clown and he's in the forest. Like, clowns don't go to the forest. Clowns go to the circus.
Yeah.
And there's so many bad movies like that. And so, you know,
I'd be more apt to watch a clown haunting a Walmart than a...
Dude. I'm about that.
Let's see. Yeah. So you ever heard Escape from Tomorrow, where they filmed it all without Disney's permission? They filmed a movie.
It's a good movie,
in
actually. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's not good at all.
I liked it a lot.
I hated it.
Really?
It was terrible. The only thing that made up for it was that they were filming it without permission.
Okay.
That's the only reason it was
I liked it because it was so like abstract and fucking crazy.
I give it like a 3.8.
Really?
Yep.
I'd give it more like a 5, maybe a 6 even.
I give it a 3.8 as a generous 3.8 because it was filmed at Disney. But what I'm saying is, let's film a horror movie at Walmart without their permission.
Just get a guy in a clown suit to go in there and wreak havoc.
No, dude. Even better than that. all of the costumes and props will be things you can find in Walmart that we don't have to pay for. We just grab them in the Walmart.
Put it on. Real quick.
Film some shit, get kicked out, go to the Walmart town over, the town 2 towns over, film the entire movie in Walmart using like so the continuity factor would not be too great.
No.
But you got that guerrilla filmmaking. You guys are at least 2 points, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. We consult with my legal counsel on that one.
Yeah, we should.
So my good movie is actually one that you recommended to me, so I know you've seen it.
Okay.
It's a 2011 hybrid crime drama, twisted romance, exploitation, generally weird piece of genre-defying cinema, directed by Bill Friedkin of The Exorcist.
Billy
F. And written by Tracy Letts, based on his stage play, starring Matthew McConaughey, Emil Hirsch, Juno Temple, Thomas Hayden Church, and Gina Gershon. It's called Killer Joe.
It's amazing.
It's a fucking
Suck
great
my
movie.
chicken leg.
Suck my chicken.
And the thing about this movie is too, as you remember from the last episode, maybe the one before, William Friedkin thinks that the Pope wants him to like film exorcisms, and he's like losing his mind.
Yeah.
This is the last movie he made.
Yeah.
So he lost his mind somewhere during the filming of this movie, and it translates.
Oh yeah. This was actually his second time working with Tracy Letts. Bug was the first time.
Yeah, Bug. I love Bug. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
You gotta see Bug.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's like meth hysteria craziness.
Nice. Well, if
limited storytelling.
If Killer Joe is anywhere near as nuts as that movie is, then I'm excited to see it.
I would say Bug is more nuts than Killer Joe.
Really?
Killer Joe, Bug is limited storytelling. It mainly takes place inside of a hotel room.
Okay.
And it's two characters, paranoia and psychosis.
Well, that makes sense because it was a stage play, like having one scene.
Yeah.
And actually, so Killer Joe is a Southern Gothic tale about a dysfunctional family. Chris and his dim-witted father, Ansel.
And there's Merkins.
In Merkins, there's some serious Merkin action, yeah. They hire a corrupt cop/hitman known as Killer Joe Cooper, played by Matthew McConaughey, to kill Chris's estranged mother for the insurance money. Though Chris and Ansel can't afford Joe's initial retainer, Joe agrees to carry out the plan in exchange for regular sex with Chris's strange but hot sister, Dottie. And then things go south when Joe and Dottie start to fall in this sort of twisted love, and Chris starts to regret his decision to have his mother killed, and then all of the deep, dark family secrets start getting exposed. So, this is a really fucking dark movie with a lot of unexpected twists and turns. It feels no compulsion to adhere to any single genre. It'll go from like crime drama to black comedy to exploitation from scene to scene. Sometimes like within the scene the tone will change, but nothing feels random or forced. Like every scene evolves organically, and the transitions are only jarring when they need to be, when you need to be jarred. And the black comedy is used to perfect effect that it like draws you in with the absurdity and then smacks you in the face with the reality.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I really liked it. That's why I requested that you watch it.
Yeah. And I liked how a lot of the scenes also, like especially all the scenes that were in the family's trailer where they lived, they felt like a stage play. Especially like the latter quarter of the movie where everything sort of starts to build up. It sort of has that tight angle like you're watching it from a theater audience perspective.
On your notes, did you have the year it came out?
2011.
Okay, so why did we never ever hear this came out?
Yeah.
They buried this movie.
Yeah, it was totally buried.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of William Friedkin.
Yeah.
And just I had no idea.
Yeah.
I found it randomly. I was researching like disturbing movies and that kind of stuff, just things to watch for my own personal enjoyment. I saw that, I said, "What?"
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey. I love Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, and he's
True
a
Detective
beast in this movie.
He is. He's a great actor.
Yeah,
and William Friedkin. You put those two together, I mean, it's going to be gold.
Yeah.
So you can only think about why they buried it. It's because of the subject matter.
Yeah, for sure.
Suck my chicken leg, bitch, with your little merkin hanging off. You see Gina Gershon's pussy, but you don't see it because she's got a fake merkin.
Yeah, big old fucking fake bush.
A bush.
Yeah.
Giant bush.
Yeah.
It's like Donald Trump's toupee between her legs.
Yeah, like glued onto her lower abdominal area. Her pudenda, that's the word for that.
Pudenda?
Pudenda, yeah, the area above the vagina.
I'm taking a mental note of that.
Yeah, remember that one. Every single actor in this movie owned their roles. Every member of the core family, with the exception of Dottie, had like dark secrets and engaged in scummy behavior, but they were still portrayed as mostly human beings with sides that you could sympathize with also.
Except for Thomas Hayden Church.
He was just an idiot. That was his problem.
Yeah,
he was so
that's
dumb.
his role. Even like Wings. Okay, so he came from Wings.
Yeah.
Remember the show
He
Wings?
was Lowell, yeah.
He was an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? Demonite, he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
He plays the same role over
Yeah.
and over. Who would let their family be subject to this? Only Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be his child.
I think he was supposed to be kind of mildly retarded. Like,
Yeah.
functionally retarded.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
But, he was very dumb and kept doing fucking dumb shit.
He was the worst part of the movie to me.
And Dottie, the daughter, she was supposed to be the innocent in all of this, so she didn't really have any dark secrets. But still, like, Juno Temple played her very well because she was able to convey innocence, but, like, also a hypersexuality that made her, like, very, very attractive through her weird behavior. And Matthew McConaughey fucking owned his role. He was no nonsense, quietly menacing. He was scary without being in your face all the time. And then when he started acting like a psycho, it was just like, this guy's gonna rip your fucking guts out.
Yeah.
You know, he's so good.
Yeah, he was definitely terrifying when he came into his own at the end.
Yeah. A lot of people shit on him and call him a one-trick pony because of like the middle part of his career.
Oh, dude,
but
he's awesome.
He's got True Detective. He's got so much depth.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation.
Yeah. You know, he can go from like a ranting lunatic to a subtly scary guy to like a charismatic guy that you want to hang out with.
I think the reason people pigeonhole Matthew McConaughey as an actor is because of his voice. He has a slight accent, and that comes through on all of his roles.
And also,
no matter what the character is, he has that little all right. Yeah, you know, he has that little. He has his accent.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. He's very diverse in his acting.
Yeah.
But I think people pigeonhole him because he sounds the same.
Also,
vocally.
he did that stream of shitty romantic comedies.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people... Because, like, that's what people know him for.
And then he came back.
Yeah, he came back with a fucking vengeance.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was reading... I think I mentioned either this show or last show, I was reading this book called Bigfoot Crank Stomp.
Yeah.
And the story of the book is that there's this police raid on a meth lab, and they find out that the meth dealers have Bigfoot in their basement and have addicted him to meth for some reason. And he gets loose and starts rampaging. But there's a fucking crazy ass sheriff in this story, in the book. And I pictured him as Matthew McConaughey the whole time, like doing meth and beating the shit out of people.
All right.
If there was ever a movie of Bigfoot Crank Stomp, they would have to get Matthew McConaughey to play the cracked out sheriff.
They get older, or I get older. they stay the same age.
This movie, I feel, is almost an American take on Takashi Miike's Visitor Q. I think they kind of exist in the same
It
vein.
is, yeah, it is very similar. The family's fucked.
Yeah, it's like it's a fucked up family, and then an outsider inserts himself into their lives, uncovers their secrets through sex and violence, and ultimately drives them to rock bottom while like bringing them together while simultaneously destroying them. And like these pictures, you know, they're kind of different in tone on some degree, but like you could watch them next to each other and get the same feel. My only complaint about the movie, and this is minor, is that some of the scenes dragged a little bit. Like there was too much of Emil Hirsch's like pathos and regret over having his mother killed. They could have accomplished that in one scene, but they dragged it out. And I think it was just to make the movie a little bit longer, to make it feature length. But still, that's a minor flaw, and with everything else about this that's excellent, I'm going to be giving it a 9 out of 10 recreational butt thermometers.
9 out of 10, really?
It's a 9, yeah.
I would say I love it. I'm glad I recommended it to you, but I wouldn't go 9.
Yeah.
I'd go like an 8.6.
Okay.
Recreational butt thermometer. The kind that you want to take your temperature multiple times.
Just to be sure.
Some of the old in, out, love.
For health.
All right, well, you heard the good and the bad. We'll be back with the top 5 movies you wish you had a sequel for.
That's right. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be back in just a quick couple of seconds.
Prepare to embark on a haunting journey to the outer reaches of consciousness. Mechanical Ghost presents Asmoriadine Volume 1. Stepping sideways and descending. An experiment in audio necromancy designed to stimulate your pineal gland and open your mind to a world beyond life and death. Go to www.mechanicalghost.com to purchase your copy. The Plague Doctor awaits.
top 5 horror movies you wish had a sequel.
That's right. Wish.
You wish. In your dreams.
In my dreams. And like I had said earlier, going through this, I found out that a lot of movies had sequels that I wanted, so now I've got some sequels to watch.
Yeah, that's crazy, and the thing is, too, I found out that a lot of movies had prequels, too. You know? Like, if you think about, like, Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
You know, it had
Manhunter,
sequels,
yeah.
but then Manhunter is a prequel. You wouldn't know that, you
Right.
know, unless you researched it, because Silence of the Lambs is the shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one.
Manhunter's a good movie. Like, it's a very 80s movie.
It's not good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it like the way that you enjoy watching Miami Vice.
I don't enjoy watching my heavy
that would explain it then.
I love Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
I love Silence of the Lambs. It's on my top 10.
Yeah.
When we have our top 100, Dom's been teasing it.
Yep.
Mine's done. His is almost done. We're going to put
done.
out our top 100 of all time list, each one of us. And then you can go on there, you can check out, you can see some movies you've seen, know where we rank them, and you can see a lot of movies in 100 that you've never heard of.
Yep.
And then you can check them out, because it's like the good movie and the bad movie, but only good.
Yeah. No shit.
Up to 100.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tool for you guys that may like the horror genre and you might be deep into it. If you're listening to this show, obviously you're a horror fan. But we've been doing this a long time. Hopefully we'll show you some shit you haven't seen before.
Yep.
That's the goal. That's the goal of this podcast, is to show the listeners some shit you've never seen before.
It's educational.
And have you laugh at our banter and laugh as we talk shit about movies you know suck.
Yep.
So, movies that don't suck deserve a sequel. So, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Brain Scan.
Brain Scan.
Yeah.
That's my number 4.
So should we just go into it?
Just go into it.
Or do you want to do your number 5 first?
No, go
Okay.
for it. Go into it.
All right, so my idea for Brain Scan is Brain Scan 2 Omnipresence. Michael, no longer played by Edward Furlong because he's a worthless sack of shit.
He's all fat now, too.
He looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I actually...
Definitely some drugs going on.
I read about the making of the original Brain Scan, and the director was like, I wasn't a fan of Edward Furlong. He was very hard to work with.
Yeah. As a kid.
Yeah. So Michael has grown up, and after his experience with the Brain Scan game in the 90s, has become an electronic media developer who specializes in augmented reality games. He looks into a string of murders associated with a new phone app and realizes that an entity similar to the Trickster is using the app to make people kill for real, and each murder is making this entity more powerful and allowing it to augment reality anywhere that there is a mobile device. Michael has to go and find the original Trickster, who is like a broken piece of code now because no one's been playing the Brain Scan game, recode him, and basically join forces with him to prevent this new cyber demon from taking control of every mobile device in the world and bringing digital hell to Earth.
What's the name of it? Just Brain Scan 2?
Brain Scan 2 Omnipresence.
Omnipresence, okay. Mine is called Brain Scan 2. The Return of the Trickster.
Okay.
The Return of the Trickster. So, since the last Brain Scan, technology has improved by leaps and bounds.
Great, yeah.
You know, there were floppy disks going on in the original Brain Scan.
There were CDs that you had to put in specialty cases and then put in hard
push
drive.
them in.
Yeah.
So, similar to yours, where it adapts with technology, you're thinking the omnipresence, like the phone, and you walk around. Mine is a virtual reality headset.
Okay.
And so, the Trickster returns to a new kid, not involving Edward Furlong, to a new kid, played by, I don't know, some little douchebag. The kid from Weeds, let's say that. No, he's too old now. Well, some child actor.
Okay.
My son will play him.
Okay.
Shove him out there, yeah, he'll die.
With his pink hair?
Yeah, with his pink hair, yeah. My son with his pink hair. He's a punk rocker. Anyways, so, the Return of the Trickster. Virtual reality headset to where you are immersed with that.
Okay.
But, similar to the first Brain Scan, when you're actually killing people, you're killing them in real life. The joke is that the headset does minor. All it does is kind of do a little bit of flare here and there. But you're actually killing people that you're seeing with your own eyes
Okay.
through the headset. And it's just augmenting reality. Like maybe you have a big demon arm with a machete, but you're really just killing people with a knife.
Okay.
Stabbing them. And the Trickster's cheering you on. Kind of like when he cut that guy's foot off.
Right.
Do it. Do it, Michael. Do it. It's just like that.
Yeah.
So, Trickster comes back, get the virtual reality. Then, eventually, when it gets caught, lead person goes on trial, says, I need to show you what happened. Puts a headset on the judge. Judge has a headset. Judge enters the game. And that's the end. Waiting for number 3.
That's interesting. I didn't consider the Trickster to be a bad guy.
No, Trickster's awesome.
In it, because...
He's a facilitator.
Yeah, he's a facilitator, but I went back a week or maybe 2 weeks ago and watched Brain Scan again. And, at the end of Brain Scan, spoiler alert from a movie from fucking 1993 or earlier, none of the murders actually happened, and it was all a virtual simulation. And Trickster ultimately served to show Michael the importance of his friend, and gave him the confidence to go ask the girl out and stand up to his principal, and all of the stuff that happened within the game was actually just
horror movie club.
A confidence builder for Michael, that he could endure this horrible situation and move on. So I never really saw the Trickster as someone who was evil, which is why in my sequel I would actually have Michael have to go find him, but he's sort of an obsolete program at this point. And so
I didn't go as in-depth as you, but I like the Trickster. I like that character. He hasn't done shit since.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And I want him back. He's the D. Snyder of horror.
Yeah, and he's really the quintessential 90s horror icon.
Yeah,
Freddy was the 80s, and Trickster with his fucking hair and his Alice Cooper suit and his nose piercings.
Care about him, though. It's weird. People don't talk about this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, me and you love it.
Yeah, and I posted on Facebook, I'm watching Brain Scan right now, and everyone's like, oh, that's an awesome movie. I forgot about that.
Really?
It still holds up. Yeah, everyone who commented.
I've never met anyone other than you who even knew what it was.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of sci-fi nerd friends, and they're the ones that were chiming in. Of course, Max Ammo, because Max Ammo is us with horror movies.
Yeah, he should be our weekly guest.
We should have him on sometime.
Yeah, we should, dude.
Yeah.
I love Max.
Max Ammo, if you're listening, you should be on the show.
Yeah, right. He's not listening.
No, he's not.
Too busy lifting weights.
He's lifting weights and drinking.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, with his fucking phenomenal British accent.
Yeah. So my Brain Scan. Virtual reality is not virtual reality.
It's just reality.
And no one knows the difference until they take the headset off and realize they've committed these atrocities.
Nice, yeah.
And then the judge has to do it too.
And commit atrocities.
Yes. Atrocities. Alright, you're number 4.
It'll be actually a prequel to 13 Ghosts, called Hunting the Jackal, a 13 Ghost story.
Okay.
It's a prequel following misfit psychic ghost hunter Dennis Rafkin, Matthew Lillard, as he tracks and investigates hauntings and is eventually unwittingly pulled into Cyrus Kritikos' evil plot to trap ghosts and open the Eye of Hell. The story centers on Rafkin tracking down the savage jackal ghost from 13 Ghosts, the guy with the head cage that would tear people up.
Yeah.
Investigating haunted mental institutions and dealing also with the other monstrous entities that haunt those kinds of places. So initially he's looking for the jackal, going to all these haunted mental institutions, dealing with all kinds of other fucked up ghosts with his psychic powers and all that. Finally, Cyrus Kritikos finds him, is like, I'm going to fund this for you, I'm going to have you, trap this jackal, give you everything you need. And then he actually has to hunt the jackal, and they can go into the jackal's backstory and find out why he became such a fucked up savage ghost. And it'll give Matthew Lillard some more work, because he's not doing much right now.
I like Matthew Lillard. I like him in Scream.
Yeah.
He's good in Scream.
He's great in SLC Punk.
Yeah,
he was good as Shaggy.
No, fuck Shaggy. We do not approve of that around these parts.
I thought he was fine. The rest of the movie can eat a dick. But
I listened to your synopsis. I did.
Yeah.
Also, I was Spider-Man. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. You were
jumped over,
monkeying over the table to get a beer.
Did. Yes, I needed a beer, so. All right.
I don't think I've ever seen you that nimble.
I'm nimble. I'm
when there's beer.
Light on my feet. Light in the loafers. No, wait, no. So, my number 4 is also a prequel.
Okay.
And I know this has to be on your list.
Okay.
It has to be. It might be your number 1.
Okay.
But it's my number 4. Event Horizon 2.
No. My Event Horizon is my number 1, but it's not a prequel.
Mine is a prequel.
So go for it. Okay.
Mine is called Event Horizon 2, The First Crew.
Okay.
You know how they find those images of the first crew?
Yeah.
People screaming with their eyes, clawing their eyes out?
Yeah.
This is about the initial opening of the gateway to hell.
Okay.
It's the only way to go for me, because you can't get Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne back. You can't get... You can't get that.
No.
So you go pre, not post. Event Horizon blew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
They killed it, but
Sort of, yeah.
yeah, but hell cannot be killed. But
Yeah, well, I'll go into my idea
wait for yours.
that. Yeah,
wait
yeah,
for yours.
yeah.
Mine, the prequel, it's about how they got to this place before the rescue.
Okay. Yeah,
About
the
what
original
happened.
crew, yeah.
Yeah, the original crew, to get to that point, to when they found that video and those horrible things that happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
and how they opened the gateway.
Right.
Explaining how they did it.
Okay.
And the guy who built the ship, who comes back to save it, would reprise his role, even though he died, spoiler alert, in Event Horizon. Sam Neill would be in my prequel on a video screen, talking to them, walking through this process of what they're doing.
Okay.
And since it's a prequel and everyone knows the end, he would actually know what he's doing. He would be the evil character.
He would have known the whole time?
He would have known the whole time that he's opening up the gateway to hell.
Okay.
Because the way he turns, in the original movie, he would be the bad guy. You would know it. You wouldn't know it at first in my prequel, but you would know he's the bad guy.
It may not even necessarily be that like, ha ha ha, I'm opening a gateway to hell. It's like, I'm a scientist. I'm opening a gateway to a new dimension. This is really fucking interesting.
To study it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know the power of it either.
Right.
He doesn't know the power that he's doing. He just knows he wants this to happen. So he makes it happen, and you witness these people be tortured, and then years later, he goes back to it because he needs to know more.
Right.
Pretty good idea, right?
Yeah, that would be good.
The first crew. Event Horizon 2, the first crew.
Nice. So, it was my number one, but I'll just go on it anyway, because the order on this is kind of irrelevant to me.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, my Event Horizon is actually a sequel, and it's called Event Horizon Singularity. Because, in astrophysics, when you have a black hole, the center of the black hole is called the singularity. That's the thing that sucks all the stuff in. And the event horizon is actually the ring around the black hole that is the vacuum that pulls things into the singularity.
Okay.
So that's where they took the name for the ship from. So at the end of the first event horizon, they blow up the back half of the event horizon, but the survivors, spoiler alert, are on the front half of the ship, hurtling through space, and the Rescue 1 crew comes in and saves them. So this movie picks up. Rescue 1 brings the remains of the event horizon back to Earth, where a team of scientists studies it to figure out where the fuck it went. Part of the hellish consciousness that brought the ship to life in the first movie comes with it and manifests itself as a representation of Dr. Weir. But he's almost more like a ghostly figure that haunts these scientists in visions. And
so Sam Neill would reprise his role in your movie as well.
Yeah.
What do you go as a ghost?
Yeah, every single time.
Every time you see him?
There'd be like 30...
Right as he comes in?
Yeah.
And it'd be like the 80s Bill and Ted Bogus Journey view where they're like like shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
Like in the circle. He's
exactly. There would be 37 instances of that happening over a course of 15 minutes in the movie.
I'd like to invest.
Okay. At first, the Weir entity helps the team of scientists rebuild the dimension-shifting core that opened the gate to hell.
Yeah, the little spinny thing.
Yeah, but once the core is rebuilt, the Weir entity starts driving the scientists insane, killing them, forcing them to kill each other, and then using their souls to power a new experiment that would suck every soul on Earth into the hell dimension.
Okay.
So, one such experiment, though, releases the trapped soul of Captain Miller, Lawrence Fishburne, who comes out all fucking...
Fishy Fishburne.
Fishy Fishburne. And he comes out all fucking scarred up, like he's been to hell.
Yeah.
And he comes back, and he's badass.
He's like
but he's fucking
the Doom
crazy.
Marine or the Duke Nukem.
Yeah. But he's crazy. Like, he's twitchy and like ready to kill anything that's around him. But ultimately, him and the remaining scientists work together to physically manifest the Weir entity and trap it and fight it so that they can send it back to hell, close the singularity, and not have everyone get sucked in.
And then he goes up to the ghost of Sam Neill and he says, "Give you two options. You take the blue pill, you stay here in hell. You take the red pill, you go back, and you see what hell's really made of."
That's right. And then the very last frame. So yeah, that's Event Horizon.
And then he has, and also when he does this, he has that little like bracelet that he has in Boys in the Hood as a dad. That little like magnet bracelet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the magnets. So keep the demons away from you.
That's right. That's how he. That's the only way he survived hell. That and his Cowboy Curtis cat gun.
He comes back as Cowboy Curtis with scars.
Doggies.
Why don't we have a budget for this yet?
Yeah, seriously.
What the fuck?
This movie needs
Come
to
on,
be made.
Hollywood.
He comes back as Cowboy Curtis with the Jerry Curl wig.
I love that. That's the best. Okay.
What's next on your list?
Number 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 3 is called Deathgasm 2, Full Metal Orgasm.
Nice.
Metal?
Yeah?
Get it?
Yeah.
Full metal.
Full metal,
like full
yeah.
metal jacket.
Yeah.
Full metal
but
orgasm.
metal.
Like Deathgasm.
Yeah.
It's a play
That's
on
good.
words.
It is.
It's clever.
Yeah.
So
In all caps.
Yes.
His lowercase letters are for pussies.
Yes, exactly. So the surviving members of Deathgasm go on to form their band and find another ancient text, just like the first movie. But this one's a little different. This one summons the devil himself.
Oh, shit.
Not just demons. And when it summons the devil himself, they think that they're... So basically what happens is they think that they're summoning the devil. What they don't know is because they can't speak the language of the text, like Latin or whatever the fuck it was in the first movie.
Aramaic or some
Aramaic,
shit.
some shit like that. They think they're summoning the devil, but really they're sending themselves to the devil. So they go on, their whole band goes on a portal to hell, similar to Bill and Ted.
Right.
That kind of scenario, where
Okay.
they're playing on that little island of rock on a chain.
Yeah.
And their band's playing. And the devil sees them. And the devil gives them the horns.
Yeah.
And then they get sucked down into their own personal hell. It's a Deathgasm Bill and Ted crossover.
Nice. Nice.
Drop down and give me infinity.
Your silky boys comes from the butts of Chinese worms.
So, to defeat the devil, Deathgasm and the Wild Stallions have to team up
Okay.
and become the greatest band the world's ever seen.
Wow.
The Wild Deathgasm.
Nice. And then
It's a crossover. It's not just
do
a
they have to have like a devil when down to Georgia style playoff against Satan?
Yeah, just like Tenacious D. And then Tenacious D comes out, and then the Wild Deathgasm D.
The wild.
And they have
deathgasm.
7 guitar players.
And
So
Kyle
they have
Gass
Jack
has
Black,
4 arms.
And Kyle Gass has 26 arms, playing a variety of instruments, maracas and violins and different things.
2 12-string guitars.
Yes, 2 12-string guitars. So, the Wild Deathgasm D goes into a face-off with Satan, similar to the Tenacious D movie. We're crossing over to the third movie now.
Right.
And the fate of the world is decided through their rock.
Through the power of metal.
Through the power of the metal, through the power of their rock.
Wow. That sounds pretty epic.
Full Metal Orgasm. Deathgasm 2.
Nice.
You got Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
You got the band of Deathgasm, and you got Tenacious D.
Wow.
All in one movie.
Yeah. Are we bringing back Dave Grohl as the devil?
No.
Okay.
No. No, we're not bringing back Dave Grohl. You know
Yeah.
what we're going to have as the devil? Doug Jones.
Wow.
Doug Jones as the devil.
Doug Jones is Satan. Yeah.
Yes. A wiry kind of Satan.
Right.
Not so much of a buff red Satan.
Yeah.
but a wiry, sinewy.
Sinewy.
He's sinewy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a sinewy Satan.
Tightly wound Satan.
Yes.
Nice. I would watch that movie.
I would too. It will never be made because that would cost several hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, I don't
If
think
not
Alex,
billions.
I don't think Alex Winter is doing much these days.
Have
Keanu
you ever seen
Reeves.
Freaked?
Yeah, that's a great
Freaked
movie.
is the shit.
Actually, I told you yesterday that I watched that documentary about the Golden Globus movies. Alex Winter is interviewed on that because I guess he was in a couple of Golden Globus movies that I had never heard of. So now I need to find these movies.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, he played a street punk in one of them. And
Can you imagine though? A combination of Deathgasm, Bill and Ted, and Tenacious D.
wow. I love Kyle Gass's guitar style. I want to punch Jack Black in the face, but
I like when he floats around like a little fairy while Kyle Gass is playing. That's really funny
Yeah,
to me. For
yeah.
some reason, it makes me laugh.
I like his physical comedy. I liked him in Nacho Libre. The thing that bugs me about Jack Black is like his thing where it sounds like he's just making up the lyrics as he goes along. He milks that way too much. Yeah, it's funny for like a song.
Well, I made up most of that sequel as I was
Just
going
that?
along, so you hate me.
No, because it
I
didn't
was
sound
going-
like it. It didn't sound like it.
I had the Deathgasm and the Bill and Ted, and then
Yeah.
I kind of winged in the Tenacious
Right.
D, so.
Shoehorned it.
Shoehorned it in. Calling it on the fly.
That's right. Calling
By
it in
the
the
seat
ring.
of my pants.
In the ring.
Calling it in the ring. All right, what's your number 3?
So it's the Cabin in the Woods. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter.
It does need a sequel.
It doesn't matter what it's called, and it's actually probably kind of a prequel.
It would have to be because the world ended. Yeah.
The point of it is, it should probably take place in the 80s. The initial setup of the movie is irrelevant as long as it's a strong but standard by the numbers supernatural horror movie storyline. What matters is that the movie is not billed as a sequel to the original Cabin in the Woods. None of the promotional material mentions the original movie. There's nothing anywhere in any of the
get there at the end as a surprise?
Yeah, but
that's
sometime
awesome.
in the third act, the big reveal is that they're part of an earlier ritual and they end up back down in the tunnels.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
that, as long as some asshole didn't come along and spoil it. And
Would there be a merman?
Yeah. That might
I just want a merman.
That might be the point that, like, things turn around and the two guys... The two dudes, the agents who are controlling the ritual, they're back because it's a prequel. Like, that's where we start figuring out and putting the pieces together. Oh shit, this is the sequel to The Cabin in the Woods, and nobody fucking expected it. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I like it.
I think that would be fucking awesome. Like, bill it
That does
as
sound good.
just some other fucking horror movie with a kind of generic sounding title, like The Cabin in the Woods, kind of generic sounding title. But then just blow people away when you're like, oh shit, this is it. Like, maybe even like a Joss Whedon and the other dude, Drew Goddard, I think his name was. Like, if they're involved, have them use fake names on their involvement, so they're not even on the promotional material.
Yeah.
But then, like, a couple months after it comes
Whedon
out,
Josh.
they can come back and be like, yeah, that was cool, that was fun.
That's a good idea. I like it. Yeah, that was. I think that's on my honorable mentions. Actually,
There's so many stories that could be told in that world because of what they established. Like, every horror movie in the world, in the history of horror, potentially takes place within the framework.
Yeah,
in the
exactly. Woods. Yeah, like it just is sacrifice. I have exorcised the demons. All right, my number 2, Nightbreed: The Rise of Cabal.
Okay.
So, after Nightbreed ends, Midian is destroyed.
Yep.
We have Craig Schiffer reprising his role as old as fuck.
But he's under makeup, so it doesn't matter.
But he's built the second Midian.
Okay.
He's made another place for the monsters to go.
Good.
Dr. Decker is dead.
Yeah.
Now we have Dr. Double Decker. Dr. Decker Jr., Dr. Double Decker.
Dr. Double Deuce.
So Dr. Double Decker.
Dr. Upper Decker.
He has 4 button eyes instead of 2.
Okay.
He's much stronger.
Right.
He's played by Tom Hardy.
Okay. The mask is actually sewed to his face.
Yes,
so
it's actually his
off.
face.
Right.
Yeah. When the shit spilled on his face and he went, woo! After that, he fucked one of the monsters.
Okay.
Let's say the one that turns into smoke. He fucked the smoke lady.
Okay.
Right? Let's say Dr. Decker fucks the smoke lady. Then you have Dr. Double Decker.
Okay.
He's got 4 eyes, 4 button eyes.
Is actually a monster.
Yeah, and he's just born that way. He's got that mask ingrained. It's played by Tom Hardy.
Okay.
And
he has like a Sean Connery voice.
Yeah. I am Dr. Double Decker. I am the last one.
I'm here to kill you, Cabal.
I am the last. And so you have Craig Schiffer reprising his role. His stupid girlfriend reprising her role.
Yeah.
I didn't like her so much.
Yeah.
What was her name? Annie or something like that?
Yeah.
God damn it. And Frank reprising her role.
And Frank. Back from the dead.
Back from the dead reprising her role.
Running into shit.
We're going to hell. So, Dr. Double Decker rises against Midian 2, the second Midian.
Okay. Is Midian the wrestler in it?
Naked Midian with the fanny pack.
That was Kevin Thorne.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's the same. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
The same. No, it wasn't. It was the same guy from when he was with Henry Godwin and they're the pig farmers.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought that was
He got
Kevin Thorne the whole
transformed into.
time.
This is not the wrestling podcast, but he got transformed into Midian by the Undertaker in the Ministry of Darkness, and he used to be one of the good old boys, whatever the Godwin brothers.
Yeah.
He was Phineas Godwin,
Huh.
and then became Midian.
Is that who it was?
And then later, when that character had ran its course, he became Naked Midian with the fanny pack.
That's right. Naked Midian.
And he's not in this movie.
No.
We have Dr. Double Decker, son Dr. Decker.
Oh.
That's a great
Yeah.
Dr. Double Decker,
Dr.
right?
Double
and there's an opportunity here for multiple sequels. You got Dr. Triple Decker.
Right.
Triple Decker.
And then Dr. 4x4.
He's got like seven arms. 26 buttons in his face.
Even his hands are masks.
He's wrapping Christmas lights over every redneck he sees. chopping the heads off of taxidermy dogs.
Fucking the neck stump.
Dr. Double Decker. That's my idea for Nightbreed, the Rice Doll.
Wow. Someone get Clive Barker on the phone.
Yeah, Clive, if you're listening, I know you're a fan of the show, Clive Barker. Just call me. You have my number.
Work something out.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
I'll cut you a break on my screenplay. I have a firm outline.
Right. My number 2, sequel to Big Trouble in Little China, The Curse of Lo Pan.
Okay.
An aging Jack Burton returns to Chinatown for Wang Chi's funeral. There he reconnects with Gracie Law and meets the green-eyed daughter of Wang Chi and Miao Yin. The funeral is attacked by an army of hopping corpses who are fought off by Burton and a group of kung fu werewolves who appear on the scene.
Sounds like our screenplay.
It's the sequel with Kurt Russell. Yeah. During the fray, Wang Chi's daughter is abducted, and Jack and Gracie are pulled into a new supernatural conflict involving a plot by evil Chinese sorcerers to resurrect David Lo Pan by impregnating Wang Chi's daughter with his demonic spirit and forcing her to give birth to him.
All right. Wow.
Got some Kurt Russell. Got some original actors back. Got some fucking Jiangxi hopping corpses like Mr. Vampire, because those need to be in more movies.
Yeah.
And we got some kung fu werewolves. Maybe
you tell them hell's coming. You tell them I'm coming. And hell's coming with me. As long as he says that, that's all that matters.
China's got a lot of hells, Jack. So I've always wanted a Big Trouble in Little China sequel, and apparently they're remaking it with The Rock, which is fucking stupid. Like,
if you smell
Chinese food.
If you smell Chinese food,
that's what it's going to be. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with them doing a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell playing an old Jack Burton, passing the torch to The Rock.
It'd be way better. If he was in it, yeah. If he's not in it, that sucks.
Jack Burton makes that movie. Jack Burton and David Lo Pan make that movie. You can't do it without him.
Yeah, and he's dead, too.
Yeah. So my idea would be to continue Big Trouble in Little China in video game format also, because it doesn't matter how old Kurt Russell is. You could do the further adventures of Jack Russell
So you're bringing CGI to Big Trouble in Little China?
No, making it a full video game.
Okay. As long as you're not making the CGI or sequel.
No, fuck
this
that.
is what I think the future is going to be. They're going to have like John Wayne in a sequel. Just a computer-generated John Wayne with voice actors.
Yeah, they've already experimented with that a little bit.
With the Fast and the Furious, because that guy Paul Walker died,
yeah.
right? So they're halfway through filming, so he died, and he was a good guy. He did a lot of charity, no shit talking.
Yeah,
I'll shit talk about the movies. Fuck you, Fast and the Furious. But that guy was a good guy.
Yeah,
did a lot of charity work and stuff. I feel bad that he died.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Paul Walker. But they put his face over his brother or some shit. This is what's going to happen. We're going to have these actors. His brother was acting with his face superimposed on the fucking computer. That's disturbing, dude. That means that, you know what they're going to do? They're going to get a good actor, and they're going to kill him, so they don't have to pay him anymore. And the machine is going to make robots. They're going to make robots, and they're superimpose faces.
Sounds like a good plot.
It's not a plot. This is reality. This is what's really going to happen. This is not a plot. So they're going to superimpose faces of actors. As soon as an actor gets too famous, they're going to kill him. Or like, no one's going to know about this, though, because this clandestine army of executives is going to kill this actor.
Or if they get too old and they're not like attractive anymore.
Yeah, that too. They're going to have like Melanie Griffith in 2026.
Yeah, looking like she did in the 80s. Yeah, I could see that happening. That's pretty terrible.
It's not science fiction. This is reality.
This is science,
reality, folks.
Science reality.
Postmortem listeners, this is reality.
JD's prophesizing right now.
I'm telling you right now.
He's the prophet JD Horror.
Don't believe what you see. Question your own mother. Look at your own mother. You look her in the eyes. Next time you see her, you look her in her eyes. That might not be your mother anymore. They're superimposing your mother on a different actress. Okay, my number 1. It's called Dead or Alive.
Okay.
Not Dead Alive. Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
After Lionel's fat mother falls into the house, him and his little Puerto Rican or Mexican Paquita, his little Paquita. They go on a raft. Right?
Okay.
They escape New Zealand on a raft.
Okay.
To a desert island.
Okay.
They get to this desert island, and lo and behold, this desert island has been crashed into and surrounded by pirate ships.
Okay.
And the zombie pirates in the Bermuda Triangle, they get all the way to the Bermuda Triangle. I forgot to tell you that.
Okay.
So,
are there Sumatran rat monkeys on this island to turn the pirates into zombies?
Wait for that.
Okay.
Don't. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Sumatran rat monkeys. Spoiler alert. Okay, so what happened is Lionel and
Lionel.
they go on their little raft to a desert island in the Bermuda Triangle. What they don't know is that the small island that they inhabited is also inhabited by Sumatran rat monkeys.
Da, da, da.
Not just one to bite your mother. We're talking dozens.
Oh.
We're talking hundreds of these rat monkeys running wild. They're dancing.
Like Hulkamania.
They're beating off on each other.
Wow.
Throwing shit at each other. Like monkeys do.
Yeah.
And rats do. I guess, do rats do that?
I don't know.
Rats beat off on each other and throw shit?
Rats have kung fu fights with
Yeah,
zombified
but,
penises.
okay, to go on a tangent, we're 32 minutes in. This is going to be way too long. But to go on a tangent, when I was a little kid, I had rats, pet rats. My rat, Snowy, my white rat, died. My other rat, Ratty, and her had babies. She was pregnant.
When she died, she was pregnant?
When she died, she was pregnant. This is a true story, and
Okay.
it's terrible. She died pregnant and birthed through eating out of her stomach and shit baby rats.
So the father rat ate out her stomach, and
I don't know what happened. I only...
they ate their
She was
way out
pregnant,
too.
she died. All of a sudden, she was there dead. All of a sudden, there's a million little rats, and the father rat, and they ate her brain. They ate her eye into her brain. I was about 7 years old, and I came to find this site. This might be why
This was like a pivotal moment in your
This
childhood.
is why
here.
post-mortem exists.
Shit.
So they ate her eye, they ate her brains, to where it was like an empty skull with no top or anything. Like, what the fuck? They ate her scalp and all this shit. Like, and all these little rats were running around, biting each other. And my other rat, when I walk in, I see this stuff, we make eye contact. Me and the papa rat, we make eye contact. And then I said, fuck this. Go let them all out in the field by the Circle K in Lompoc.
and then we had Willard.
And then Willard happened. Anyways, what was my number one?
You know what?
Okay.
I had a pet chinchilla who used to suck his own dick. So there's the lighthearted rodent pet story.
I'm not that flexible. Otherwise, I would
Chinchillas
not
have huge dicks. Like they're as big as their whole body.
I have that problem going for me too.
Yeah.
Not flexible, and it doesn't touch my face without wanting you to. Anyways, dead or alive? Deader, not dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Okay.
Dead alive too.
So they have to survive the Sumatran rat monkeys and the zombie pirates.
So what happens is Sumatran rat monkeys eat the corpses of pirates that wash up on the shore, and when they do that, they infect them. They become zombie pirates.
Okay, so are these like Yar pirates, or are they like Ethiopian modern pirates?
You can choose.
Okay. I like peg leg pirates.
Yeah,
but they could be
I like to
Ethiopians
think
with
of
peg
old-
legs. I'm equal
It
opportunity.
wouldn't make sense for skeletons to get bitten and become zombies.
But the
I like
rat
to
monkeys
think of
could eat the meat off the bones, and then you could have walking skeletons.
That's true. That's true. I haven't really thought this through enough
Right.
to make it a real screenplay, but
Yeah.
you see where I'm going.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it. I like that.
It's
I like that.
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, all right, what's your
I feel
number?
like there should be a mad doctor on that island that's experimenting on the Sumatran rat monkeys too.
There's actually a little girl on the island.
Uh-huh.
Not a little girl, but a girl
Uh-huh.
that has a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Feedly dee.
Feedly dee.
Are they lined up in a row?
Feedly da. We're at 35 minutes. Come on.
We're lucky. My number one was my Event Horizon story. So
Oh yeah,
so we
okay.
already went.
All
there.
right. Well, I have a couple honorable mentions.
I don't have any, so have at it.
This might be the best or the worst postmortem ever. I think it's probably the best.
I like how I put a lot of really really serious thought into my synopsis,
Yeah.
and you're like, let's go fucking crazy.
Yeah, I just make it up as I go along.
Yeah.
I had an outline.
Yeah.
There was an outline written. There was no outline written. All I had was a name, a movie, and the name of the sequel, and as I told you, I made it up.
Right. It's pretty good. Good job. You get a gold star.
Okay, thank you. I'm very creative.
Yeah.
So my first honorable mention is Strangeland. D. Snyder's Strangeland.
Okay.
You ever see that?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's great. I want to know what happens to Captain Howdy after that.
Yeah.
You know what, that fire got put out.
Yeah.
So the burnt Captain Howdy comes in.
He's like burnt with all of his piercings like melted into his flesh.
Either that or if he is dead, Captain Howdy Jr.
Okay.
Even his friend.
Yeah.
Want to see that happen. Another one I want to see happen is Demon Knight. Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. At the end, Geraldine walks off with the cross in the bus, and you see the black guy that's the next cowboy demon guy.
Yeah.
Not Billy Zane, but the next guy.
Yeah.
He said, "I'll take the next one.
Yeah.
I'll take the next one." Well, what happens after he takes the next one?
We'll see.
Where does she go? What happens? I need to know these things.
Yeah,
I need to know.
Inquiring
minds want to know. So, related to that, also, Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. I need more vampire horror houses in my life.
Yeah.
But the next one isn't Dennis Miller. It's Dennis Leary.
All pissed off.
He's pissed off.
Smoking
in the horror house. Yeah, that's what happens. So.
He doesn't smoke anymore. And I feel like that makes him less funny.
I feel like he should die of lung cancer anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways. The Last Lovecraft Relic of Cthulhu. You ever see that?
Yeah.
I told you, right?
Yeah,
that's
like
awesome.
Movie, yeah.
It's good, funny. You could do much more with that.
Oh yeah, you can tell a lot with those stories.
Yep. In the Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness is a great movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
It's my second favorite John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, it's great. And you could do much more with that concept. It doesn't have to be
I've
the same
only seen
author.
that movie once without ejaculating on a woman.
That's a great fun fact to know.
Point of fact. Yeah.
I wish we had. You know, when you're reading like a textbook and you see like there's like a little number 1.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the right hand side.
Yeah.
Dom never saw this movie without ejaculating.
Only once, and that was the last time I watched it.
Also, Lord of Illusions prequel. You know, Lord of Illusions when Nyx and everything happens.
Yeah.
Before they bind him with that mask.
Right.
I would like that to be the end of a prequel.
Yeah, that would be good.
It would be really good.
Yeah.
And that's an underrated movie. Another one that's kind of recent is Starry Eyes. I can handle a Starry Eyes sequel.
Yeah.
Production company's making cast another actress, another person reborn. Be a good sequel.
Yeah, that's another story you can do a lot with.
I got a controversial one, Tusk.
Tusk 2, huh?
Tusk 2, what happens is that the guy who gets turned into a walrus mates with an actual walrus as a human walrus hybrid baby.
Trying to find his place in the world.
Playing with a beach ball on the side of an igloo.
And it could be like a coming of age story.
Coming of age story of the Wally the walrus. Let's call him Wally.
Wally, yeah.
Male, female, it doesn't matter. One that we have not, I might have brought it up in this podcast, but I might not have. But Dead and Breakfast. You ever see Dead and Breakfast?
I love the redneck rap part and all that.
And the redneck that sings and stuff like that. He could be a zombie in the next part. I want more of that story.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. If you guys haven't heard of Dead and Breakfast, check it out.
Really good movie. But don't watch Redneck Zombies.
I like Redneck Zombies.
Really?
I like it.
Dude, it's one of those movies where like
a truck of military nuclear waste with no caps on the buckets goes by and hits a speed bump and flies into moonshine. And they become zombies.
I feel like it was a good idea that completely outlasted or like went longer than the idea had. And like the whole the dude on acid and all that, it was like one of those movies where someone
that part is terrible.
Someone who had never done drugs wrote and acted in a movie about doing drugs.
That's completely okay. But that was the movie that I said we should do top 5 rednecks, which we will be doing.
Yeah,
a couple episodes from now. After we get to it, we have a couple listener top 5 suggestions we're going to get to. After that,
Antoine gave us one, right?
Yeah, Antoine gave us another one we're going to go to. We're not going to say what it is now because that would be a spoiler.
Okay.
But
that's not what we're doing next?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Top 5 final girls.
Yes. Okay.
You spoiled it!
But now people can write in.
Okay, write in with your top 5 final girls. The female leads that are running away from the character that live or are the last to be killed.
The it girl.
Anyways, I got 2 more.
Okay.
Stitches. We just talked about Stitches in my good movie review. I'd like to see it. Stitches.
Oh, fuck yeah. You could bring that clown back a million times. And he comes back more fucked up every time.
Yep. And another one, which we just talked about as well, is Killer Clowns from Outer Space Part 2. It'd be great. So that's it for my honorable mentions.
Okay. I don't have any. I was a little under with the weather this week, so I just focused on making a good
Dom
list.
almost died.
Yeah.
You can put the thought process it takes to come out with things like Deathgasm 2, Full Metal.
Dude, that was a maximum effort.
It was. On the fly. On the seat of my pants. You can call me Peter Pan.
Because you fly by the seat of your
I
pants.
fly by the seat of my pants.
That's right.
So,
Is this where we say our goodbyes?
this is where we say our goodbyes. We are way over time.
We are way the fuck over time. As H.P. Lovecraft once said while checking his recreational rectal thermometer, if it smells like fish,
Throw the fucker back.
to Skeet Ulrich.
Throw the fucker back to Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
To the windows, to the walls. All you bitches crawl. Well, Skeet Ulrich.